3, 2, 1, cheers. Welcome to another Ben and Brittany podcast. It is Wednesday night in our household. We don't have the kids. We had a long work week, hence the 5 wines, 5 different wine glasses sitting in front of Brittany right now. If you're watching, you can see them. If you are listening, you now know that there are 5 wine glasses sitting in front of Brittany. She goes, Ben, what should we do for the podcast this week? And I was like, I don't know. What should we talk about? Can we do wine tasting? Can we do wine tasting? And I was like, sure. So Brittany has 5 wines and 5 cheeses out
For
in front.
the record, we brainstormed like a list of podcast ideas a while back. So we had a list to choose from. And one of them on there happened to be like wines and questions or wines and podcasts.
Yeah.
Like a wine tasting, basically. And there's also a beer tasting on the list.
Yeah, we'll do that sometime.
And because when we just took our long weekend, we did wine tasting, I just wanted to reminisce.
Yeah, we went to the Poconos this weekend and had a blast. However, we stayed in a
The weekend before.
negative 2-star hotel.
Because we had the girls this last weekend. It was the weekend before.
Don't cut costs on hotels. We learned that the hard way.
And
we had a blast.
And don't book hotels the day that you need it on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Because
there was some sketchy
the options
stuff going
were
on in our
super
hotels.
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel safe, actually. I legitimately...
No, it was kind of sketchy. Every time you heard somebody walking outside, you're always like, are they coming for us? Because we had some very, very suspect neighbors that just left their door open and had red Solo cups and were like smoking joints at like 8 a.m.
And they watched you all day coming in and out. Like when you pulled in the parking lot, you were being watched.
And somebody pulled up next, like they had cars coming and going, and we were just watching them. The one time somebody pulled in, and they all got up and went to the trunk of this car and started exchanging like snacks, like Rice Krispie treats and shit. And you're like, what's in the Rice Krispie treat? But anyway, that was our weekend, and that's why we're here doing the wine tasting.
The weekend before this weekend.
It doesn't matter, Brittany.
It does matter because we had the kiddos this weekend, which we had a blast, but it was exhausting.
Okay.
Because we did the pool all day on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm tan as a mother.
We did your grandparents' house all day on Sunday, which was fun. We love it, but we all like did not want to wake up on Monday.
No, I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow.
We were exhausted from all the adventuring we had with the kids.
Yeah. So after a long couple weeks, we're gonna do this wine tasting and treat Wednesday night like our night. We're just gonna have fun, not really care. This is gonna be a Q&A podcast where we answer questions that you guys ask us. On Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. And we're just going to drink wine and get wasted in the process, kind of. I mean, it's going to be hard for you not to be drunk after all that.
Yeah, I tend to get drunk at wine tastings because it doesn't, like, I prefer dessert wines, and dessert wines tend to have a higher alcohol content.
Yeah, they're the 20%ers.
And, like, even though you're just taking sips here and sips there, or, like, small glasses here, small glasses there, I mean, I know I was feeling it.
Yeah, after the 5th one, you're like, woo, what else you got?
I'm like, let's buy a bottle.
Yeah, and we did. I've been posting pictures of the trip. If you don't follow us on Instagram, or follow me, we haven't started a joint Instagram yet. We should probably do that. But yeah, follow BG Cinematics. You'll see all of the stuff from our trip there. But let's try your first wine. Brittany has 5 wine glasses, 5 pieces of cheese. She's going to guess which pieces of, what flavor cheese, what kind of cheese, and what kind of wine she's sipping. Underneath the plate is written the correct answer, so she has to finish the wine and eat the cheese and guess.
Oh, I have to finish it. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Definitely going to get drunk.
Yeah.
So I'll have wine, cheese, and then we'll answer a question.
Yeah, I'll look at the first question up. Okay.
Ooh, I like this one. The cheese is like a dead giveaway.
What is it?
It's definitely pepper jack.
Oh, because the way it looks.
Just by looking at it. So pepper jack is definitely not a cheese to go with wine, but the cheese selection at the grocery store was super limited.
We did not go to a Wegmans.
We did not.
Okay.
And Ben went with affordable wines. Made
semi-affordable, like the $12 to $15 ones.
Yeah. Made in Pennsylvania or New York.
Yeah. Locally, kind of. But anyway.
Did not purchase my favorites because I would be able to pick those out right away.
Yeah, she would know. So we just went with some randos to see how she does. Okay, first question. What is the biggest dream that you and Brittany share? I feel like this is going to be like the newlywed game where you have your answer and I have my answer and we have to see what they match.
Oh, we should have did that.
Yeah.
Like wrote it down.
We should have.
Turn it around.
Okay, let's just say it on 3. Our biggest dream that I think we share and that you think we share.
Okay. One, two, three.
Financial security. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You said financial freedom?
Yeah.
Financial security. That's what's up. Everybody, we want money, people. We want money. I'm not afraid to say it. If there's people out there that go, money's not everything. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I lied. It's like 90% though. It's a lot. You can't have the things that, when people say money's not everything, well, that little bit that's left after money, you can't have without money.
We can't do the scroll without money. We can't take the girls to Disney World without money.
You can't have fun.
We can't get married, which was a hot topic in the Facebook comments, without money.
People fall in love and be like, love don't cost a thing. Yes, it does, because as soon as you get married, you gotta buy stuff. If you don't have money, you're just gonna end up fighting. Like, okay, I take it back. Money isn't everything, but it's 99%.
I won't even say 99%, but it's very important. And
it's important for all that other stuff.
Not that Ben and I have a need for material things, but we do have we enjoy doing things. We enjoy going to wineries and going out to eat. We've been pretty much adding up every penny that we've been spending the last couple months so we could really nail down a budget. And let me tell you, the hardest one to cut out, or not to cut out, we don't want to cut it out, but to maybe reduce, is going out to eat. That's
like our favorite thing to do.
We love to do that. Yeah, for sure. And I love wineries.
Not that we go to wineries.
We don't do it often. We do that.
We just.
That was our first wine tasting actually together.
Yeah, we like to have a drink on Wednesday night, and we like to go out to eat. That's pretty much all we do. And we like. But the main thing is like, us being self-employed. It's a very strenuous, time-consuming, mentally taxing occupation. Brittany's a real estate agent, and
Hence the 5.
And I play in a rock and roll band, and I play in a rock and roll band, and I do video. I own BG Cinematics, and some of this stuff, like, it's never-ending job. It's like trying to clean a house. Like, as soon as you clean the whole house, it's dirty again. Like, that's what it's like being self-employed. It's like you're never done. There's always something you can do. Mm-hmm. And when you live life like that, like, sometimes you just need to get away or like just go out and spend some money just like anybody else. And we want to be able to do that whenever we want. That is the goal. And don't get us wrong, we'll do our best to be awesome and give money wherever we can and donate and help everybody else out. But we definitely want to be rich, like filthy, stinking rich.
Well,
I do.
We talked about this one time where I said, wouldn't it be awesome if, like, we both worked but only had to live on one of our incomes, and then the other income we could just donate
or just use to be awesome.
Both.
Yeah.
I don't want to do but it would be nice if we could donate a lot of money back into the community, into programs that we thought were important, and then also still be able to live free.
Yeah. We don't want to donate to charity. We want to be able to not have to do that and just give money where we want to. Right? That's what I want to do. I don't want to donate to the American Red Cross. I'll just find somebody who needs the American Cross and skip the middleman. You know? Stuff like that. Kind of like what Project Lamplight does.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing, though. Project Lamplight is just a non-profit organization run by Brittany's real estate team that gives money to immediate urgent needs in the community, and it's really cool. There's like a small application process, and it just goes straight to people. It's a really cool foundation.
It goes straight to,
I like the way it's set up.
Yeah, straight to people for things that aren't covered by government programs, that don't have time to apply for government programs. If the turnaround time is like 24 to 48 hours to get the funds if needed.
That's pretty sweet. Like
Yeah.
that's like as quick as a wire transfer. Not as quick as a wire transfer, but like that's as quick as you can get some money from charity.
Yeah, I would love to help on that more. But this, I know this.
The
This
wine?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Niagara.
What, and the cheese is pepper jack?
Yeah.
Let's check.
Yeah.
Niagara pepper jack. She wins.
Was it?
Round 1, Brittany is on top. It's Wednesday night, guys. I have a drink too. Just so you know. Moving on. Question number 2. Do you set time frames to complete items on the scroll? No. For those of you who don't know what the scroll is is essentially Brittany and I's bucket list. It's our accomplishments list. It's everything that we want to do, all of our aspirations, all of our dreams, they go down on this list, and the list just happens to be a scroll, like an old-fashioned scroll. And it's getting pretty big, and whenever Brittany and I go do something, we try to do something that's on the scroll so we can cross it off. You get that little sense of accomplishment and happiness by crossing something off on the scroll. We just went to the Poconos. We got to cross that off, along with a bunch of other things on the scroll at the Poconos.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So, what do you think about time frames on the scroll, or are they just on there?
I think most of them are on there. I think there's some that we hope to cross off sooner rather than later, for sure.
Yeah. Like there's stuff on there that says, go here, experience this with the kiddos. So I guess there's technically a time frame on that, because as soon as they turn 18, they're not kiddos anymore.
Right.
I mean, you could say as soon as they turn like 12, they're not kiddos anymore.
Right, yeah, there's things where, there's a time frame for the kids. There is one item on the scroll that has a time relation, and that's you quitting smoking.
Yeah, that's true. How long have I been now?
It's been almost a month.
Almost a month. Brittany said if I quit for 3 months, she would buy me a drone. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
It's
the drone. I think I will be. I'll have no problem quitting for 3 months.
It's an investment in your video business. Also a benefit to the band. I feel like you guys could use that for your band videos in the future.
Well, yeah.
And
BG Cinematics does all the Small Town Titans videos. Ha! Shameless plug. Ha!
Right. And it's an enticing bribe for you to quit.
Yeah, I know. It hasn't been an issue this go around.
No, you've been doing really. The first week and a half, I think you were like jonesing.
I was jonesing a little bit, but like, when I quit the first time, I always thought about cigarettes, or like the times I would go smoke them, and then like once I quit for a little while, I was like, I can have one just to enjoy it. Like, I'm not gonna fall back into it. I just enjoy having a cigarette once a week, and then that's what led me back into smoking. But I don't feel that way anymore.
Good.
Like, I don't think about cigarettes anymore. I don't have that jonesing like sensation. Like, cigarettes they're a beast, man. You feel the sensation of wanting a cigarette the same way you feel the sensation of wanting a cheeseburger when you're hungry. Like, it's pretty overwhelming. But I'm on the good foot.
You really are.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I feel better. I feel so great. I ran for the longest I've ever run in one sitting while living in this apartment today. And then I ran up 20 flights of stairs, and then we did yoga all today. That's another thing Brittany and I are doing. We're doing yoga now. We just did day 2 of our 30-day journey, and it's kind of there's a learning curve to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a process to get into. You don't just jump into yoga going, oh my god, this is amazing. You kind of jump into yoga like, this is weird. Okay, I'll give this a shot. It's kind of strange, but like, let's power through and see if we can actually grow to like it. I feel like it's an acquired taste. I'm acquiring it. Next glass of wine.
Yeah, this is gonna get harder because they're all red. Like Niagara,
Yeah.
that was like a cheat plate.
All right, you select your wine. I'll select another question.
I do love these glasses, though.
What's each of your greatest fears? Do you want to lead this one off? This could get deep. We might cry. At least one of us might cry. It ain't gonna be me, but.
Oh.
But let's be honest. Who's crying out of the two of us?
Just because I love you more.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
I'll go first.
Okay. Greatest fears.
I think I have two, I think. One would be something happening to you while you're on tour and I couldn't get to you quick enough. Like if there was a car accident or you got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I do fear that. Like when you're on tour, that is definitely my biggest fear. It's not probably all the other things that everybody else is thinking, you know. It's definitely that I couldn't get to you, that I'd be here getting the call from like John or Phil saying, hey, this happened.
Ben broke his leg.
You know.
Which wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, which is why I fear it, probably.
I snapped my ankle last
and then secondly, something happening and me not being able to get to the girls. Like a natural disaster and it keeping me, like say they happened to be at their dad's house that night when like something happened and me not being able to get to them.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent of just being separated from you and the girls when something bad happens. Like I just want, if something bad is happening, I want you three with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I think for me, what I thought, I mean, I knew your a big fear was going to be something like what you just said, but there's another fear that you have that kind of is strange to me because I don't fear it at all. I actually get excited by it, and that's storms. Mm-hmm. You are like really afraid of storms. Like when it's cloudy, Brittany's like, "Yo, well, cancel plans."
It's the only time I get excited when people cancel appointments on me.
Yeah.
Because I never ask people to reschedule when there's storms. I do stick it out, but like when they cancel, I'm like, yeah, praise the Lord, I am going home. I do have a huge fear.
Yeah, you got caught in a bad storm once.
Yeah, so we'll tell that, and then you have to tell your fear. That was Colby Jack cheese, by the way. I was maybe 21, I think, and I got caught at work, just doing work stuff. This is back before I was in real estate, and something was going wrong with my car. So my friend was like, oh, bring your car to my house. I'll have my friend look at it. Like, he can help you out with this car trouble that I was having. And I can't even remember. Oh, my air conditioner quit working in my car. And I'd only had it like 3 months. So I'm like, what the heck is going on with this car? Like, I just got it. And it wasn't old. So anyway, go to his house. He looks at my AC. Can't do anything about it. I have to take it to a dealership. Surprise, surprise. And it was sunny. It was hot. It was sunny. It was summer. And I hop on the interstate and head home. And I had about a 45-minute drive home. And all of a sudden, the sky started to get gray. And then it started to get like this really dark, like almost black. And it started pouring down rain to the point where I couldn't see traffic in front of me. Like, but all I could see was tail lights. I couldn't see the actual vehicle. It was raining so hard. So finally I pull over because other cars start pulling over, and I'm like, well, I guess I better pull over too. And at this point in my life, I was not afraid of storms. I didn't love driving in pouring down rain, but I wasn't afraid. And my dad calls me, and he's like, where are you? And I said, I got held up at work late. I had my friend look at my car. I'm on my way home. I'm stuck on the interstate between this exit and this exit. I don't remember at the time. But I was probably a little bit more than halfway home at this point. And my dad told me, he's like, Brittany, like, a tornado just touched down, which is super unheard of in this area, by the way. Like, it's not normal to get tornadoes here. And he's like, a tornado just touched down in about probably, you know, as the crow flies, as they say, about 2 miles from you. And at that moment, that's when I was like, shoot, like, this storm is more than just pouring down rain. And at that moment, that was when the panic hit me. And my dad goes, whatever you do, keep your seatbelt on and block your face. That was my dad's advice.
Block your face. And you're like, block my face?
And I'm like, what?
What?
Why?
Oh my God. Oh my God, you told me to block my face.
Why do I need to block my face? So, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, F this. Like, I am not going to die here on this interstate. And I just got back on and I just hightailed it. Like, I got behind, I think it was like a tractor trailer. Yeah, it was a tractor trailer, and I just followed him. I'm like, if I could see his lights, I'm just going to keep going. Like, it's better than just sitting there like a sitting duck, you know. Like, I'm just going to keep going. And it started hailing. I truly don't remember how I made it to my parents' house. Like, because I couldn't see. I think it was just kind of like muscle memory and like...
You just know when a turn's coming.
Right. And I could see certain like buildings I could see. So I kind of had an idea of where I was. But as soon as I got home, I ended up just sleeping on the couch that night. Like, I was just terrified, shaken.
You just get home, you just curl up in the ball.
Oh my gosh. It was horrible. And from that point on, that was when my fear of storms started.
Yeah, it's bad. It's no just like typical.
And then another time, I was showing houses on the other side of the mountain where I normally don't go, but it was like a family friend type deal. So I'm like, all right, fine, I can get access. Like, I'll show you these houses. On my way home, same thing. It went from a bright sunny day. Next thing you know, it starts pouring rain. Wouldn't you know? My windshield wipers quit working. Coming down the mountain. I had to keep pulling over because I couldn't see. So in between, like, I could check the radar on my phone and I would see like a little gap of rain coming, and that's when I would drive, and then I would have to stop. It took me like 2 hours to get home from somewhere that was normally only a half-hour drive. But so I haven't had good luck with storms. There's people who have had much worse luck, and I know that, and that's what I'm afraid of.
The worst luck.
Is having the worst luck, because I haven't had good luck. So now, like, when we get, like, tornado watches and warnings around here, like, immediately I have to shut all the curtains. I have to...
Yeah, you, like
I like, hunker down. I'm like, we are not going anywhere.
I'm like, Brittany, you ready to go? You're like, no, the weatherman said no.
Red Cat.
Red Cat, that's what that is? That's your guess, Red Cat wine. And what kind of cheese?
Colby Jack.
Red Cat wine and Colby Jack cheese. Son of a bitch. Correct.
You weren't supposed to get favorites, but Red Cat I like.
That's right. Got you some Red Cat. Okay.
Red Cat.
My fears. I was about to go to the next question. My fears, I guess my biggest, like, real fear is not being around. Like, I play in a rock and roll band. For example, in a little over a month, we're leaving for 2 weeks. And it's going to be our first tour since the Grinch went viral. And we don't know what it's going to be like. It could be really, really awesome. It could be okay. Well, we have no idea. But it's looking like it's going to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people are RSVPing, a lot of people are buying tickets, and it's pretty cool. So I don't know what happens after that. And I think that's also a fear of yours, right? Like, I don't know what the fear of just not knowing where your life's going to go in the next couple weeks, or what you're going to be asked to do, or what you're going to feel obligated to do. And I just can't stand the thought of like something happening at home when I'm on the road. Just like you can't stand the thought of something happening to me when I'm on the road. Like I can't stand the thought of something happening to you when I'm on the road. Or the girls. Like that's like the worst thing ever. Because, you know, the quickest you can get home is by hopping on a plane, and that can take 2 days sometimes, you know? So that's the biggest real fear. But I do have 3 dumb fears. And I feel like I always forget one. But it's, I have a real fear of paralysis. Like the thought of being paralyzed terrifies me. I had sleep paralysis once. Did I tell you about that? Mm-hmm. It was the strangest sensation ever. I was fully awake and conscious, and I could look around the room with my eyeballs, and I could see the cat. This is when I lived in Middletown with my friends. I could see the cat walking in the living room. I was asleep on the couch, and my eyeballs could move and see the cat. I could not move. I just remember trying to sit up.
That would be super scary. Like, that would freak me out.
It freaked me out.
This is so good.
I remembered the wine, or my story. Go ahead. Okay, yeah. Thank you for stroking my ego. But I remember trying to sit up when I was in sleep paralysis, and I couldn't. It felt like my head was like strapped to the couch, and I kept going and like trying to sit up, and I could not move. And after a little while, what felt like an hour was probably like 5 minutes. But I had a conversation with myself. I'm like, maybe if I just go back to sleep, I'll actually wake up. And I just laid there like freaked out, and I tried to fall asleep and couldn't, and then finally I just fell asleep. When I woke up, everything was fine, but I remembered everything. Like, it was pretty crazy. So paralysis really freaks me out. And I have a fear of catheters and kidney stones. Kidney stones and catheters, maybe you wouldn't call them fears, but like the thought of them, or like somebody mentions the word catheter, or like I see in a movie there's a funny scene where somebody like pulls the catheter out, like my legs get weak, and I'm just like, oh god, like I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I don't know why it's like that, but it's
half the listeners just logged off.
Why? Yeah, because they had the same response to catheters and kidney stones as I do. It's gross. Okay, next question. I got me another drink, too. I'm a fan of Seagram 7 and mug root beer, believe it or not. I don't know if there's anybody else in the world that drinks that, but that's what I drink. That's my drink of choice. Okay. Oh, there was a good one. I just lost it. Settle the debate. This is from Doug Miller. Settle the debate right here, right now. Real Christmas tree or artificial Christmas tree?
Artificial, that's what's up.
All the way. Artificial. I know there's people, if there's people listening, they're probably like, oh my god, that's sacrilege. How can you not get a real tree? Ah!
I have my reasons.
Ooh, sorry, microphone, I just bumped you.
I love the idea of a real tree.
So do I.
I love the nostalgia of going and picking out a tree, maybe even axing one down. Kind of violent, but cute as a family. However, I like to decorate for Christmas slightly before Thanksgiving. I am that person. I love Christmas. I love decorating for Christmas. It drives Ben crazy.
Let's settle the debate right here, right now. Should you decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
No. It's stupid.
No.
Thanksgiving should not be skipped.
It's not skipped.
You are skipping it. You're decorating for... All right, so what if you started planning Kinsley's birthday, or my birthday, before Kinsley's?
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Because it's rude.
Different.
Because it's rude.
No,
it's rude to Kinsley. Don't be rude to
I don't decorate for birthdays.
Yeah, but you get the mentality. You get the thing.
I think I think the new Thanksgiving decor is half Christmas.
No, people made it that. The Thanksgiving decor is when your kid comes home with a bunch of hands that are like painted different colors and draw them to look like a turkey.
And we fill our fridge up with those. I'm just saying that it takes a lot of time, and I have a lot of decorations, and they only come out one time a year for 1 month. And the point is you said that I could put the tree up the day after Thanksgiving. Therefore, we did. And in order to do that, we would have to get an artificial tree, because a real tree would have been dried pine needles by the time we made it to Christmas.
Yep.
And let's be real, folks. Back in the day, when it was cute to cut down Christmas trees, $20 a tree. Now, to get a half decent looking tree, you're paying $70 to $90, at least in our area. They are not cheap.
For something that lasts just a little bit.
Go to Target, get an artificial tree. I think we got ours at Lowe's, actually, for what, like $120 on sale?
Yeah, and it'll last us forever.
And it'll last us for years, so it's also
and
economical.
it looks real. You cannot tell the difference.
Yeah, ours looks really good.
And you know what? You don't have to clean up after it.
No.
I think the main thing that I miss about the real Christmas tree thing is, like, my family when I was growing up always had a real Christmas tree. And I loved that we got real Christmas trees. Why? Because I got to pick it out.
Yeah.
You know, like, you got to walk through, you got to spend that day or that evening, that hour, 2 hours, whatever it was, with your family, walking through aisles of trees, trying to find the perfect one. And we always did. That I miss. But even as a child, after that day, I could give a fuck less if it was a real Christmas tree or a fake Christmas tree. It was just a tree. It looked pretty. It was covered in all of our stuff. Doesn't matter. It's just that day. Like, we could take the girls and walk through aisles and aisles of Christmas trees, pick one out and be like, that one's perfect. Okay, let's go home. And set up the artificial tree.
You know,
like,
that
we
wouldn't
could do
work.
that. No, it wouldn't, but
Because the girls, Kinsley would be like, where's the tree I picked out?
yeah, and then no, she would be like, okay, I cut it down. Yeah, some guy would come along with an axe and she'd be like, no, I do it.
I don't need help.
Alright, so definitely artificial tree for us. It's just easier, less messy. It's just
And when it
better.
comes time to decorating, it's up to the person who decorates in the house. That's my answer.
Which is Brittany.
So if you are the decorator and you choose December 1st, good for you. I'm the decorator. I'm a realtor. I fit it in when I can, and that tends to be Black Friday.
Yes.
Because everybody is out shopping. They're not looking at houses. That is my slow season. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I tend to be slow because people are not in the mood to move during the holidays, which if you think about it, it does make sense. It's understandable.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, unless they have like a lease that's coming up to an end, or maybe their house they're selling is under contract. But that's my slow season, so I kind of take advantage of that.
All right.
You know what? I have another fear. I want to go back to that.
Oh,
that was
go
a
back
good.
to-
I liked that topic. I don't know if it's necessarily a fear, and I'm willing to do it, and I will do it forever. But
Proceed.
but leading up to you leaving for tour, I get the anxiety of missing you.
I noticed. Because
I know I'm gonna miss you super hard, and I know that it's gonna be difficult in that sense. Like, we did a great job your first tour. Like, I think we did great communicating.
We did.
Between texting, phone calls, video chats, Snapchats, like, we did a really good job. So that part I'm not worried about. Like, I know that you're a good communicator when you can be. And you're very upfront with me, like, hey, we're loading in. It's going to take a couple, this amount of time. And then from this time to this time, we're on stage, and then I'll call you. Like, you were always very good at letting me know when I could expect to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be panicked if I don't hear from you from this time to this time. So that part, like, I'm okay with, but it's just, I remember when you were gone, and one night you called me, and I was totally fine. I was totally fine. I was watching Netflix. I think it was a night that I didn't have the kids, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, my phone rang, and I answered, and it was Ben's voice, and I just lost it. Like, I just started crying.
And I was like, what happened?
And I was like, I just miss you. And I get anxiety about knowing that is coming. Like that missing you, that piece of my heart is missing. My other half is not here. The pizza and podcast nights are not gonna happen for a couple weeks. The waking up to coffee on my nightstand.
Oh, that's a big one, isn't it?
Isn't gonna be there, and like the morning snuggle sessions and putting the kids to bed together.
If I cried, I would probably cry.
But like that's I don't know if it's a fear, because I'm not afraid of it, and
it's an anxiety,
and I accept it, and like I said, I will, like, if you had to go on the road for half the year,
I don't want to do that.
I would totally not necessarily enjoy it, but I would totally support it, and I would do it. Like, I'm not telling you I would never not do it. I would always do it.
I know you would.
But I do get anxious and clouded, maybe.
For sure.
Leading up to it, because I dread that feeling. But then on the other end, like, I always like to try to find the silver lining, and the silver lining is, I might cry. Damn you, and damn this one.
Brittany!
The silver
That's going to be the title of the podcast. Brittany cried.
No. The silver lining is, it is beautiful, I think, that what we have is worth missing.
For sure. I think that's the biggest thing. That's why everything is always going to be okay. You know, because, like, I don't think I've ever... You know, I'll just come out and say it. I wish everyone had what Brittany and I have. I wish you could fucking bottle that shit. Because, like, you know, oh, we'd be millionaires, babe. Remember, go back to when we want to be rich? Find a way to bottle this. No, that sounds cocky when I say it like that.
It's okay. I think
but, like, no, I do. I love Brittany so much, and she loves me, and we're both so supportive of each other, like, no matter what. And that it's apparent, and it shows, and it's just, I just wish everybody that doesn't experience it in life or hasn't yet could or will soon, you know? Like, there's always somebody out there. Before Brittany and I met, I told myself I was going to be alone for the rest of my life, and I was cool with it. And then, hello, hi, my name's Brittany, I kind of want to kiss you just a little bit. And here
why do you use the same voice for me as Kinsley?
Because that's just a girl's voice. But yeah, I just, you know, I wish everybody had what we had, because I don't know what's better than what we have. I don't. But yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to get emotional, but I was thinking it, so I wanted to share.
Love and support is definitely essential to our lives working. Like, if we weren't supportive of each other, we would not get along. Because, like, there's hills and valleys. There's ups and downs in both of our careers and in our lives, and, you know, time together, time apart. And it's just all about respect and support. And I think ours is pretty top notch. Love you.
I love you.
Oh, don't cry. Go ahead, cry. Blubber in the microphone.
No. Can you kiss me once? Is that allowed?
Yes, come here. Oh, this is okay, we just lost subscribers. They just went, no, it's all good. All right, while we're on this topic, I would like to address the fact that, like, 60% of our questions that we asked you guys to ask were along the lines of, when are you getting married? Or, when are you having kids? Are you gonna get married? Did you get the ring yet? Are you thinking about having kids? Do you want a boy? Do you want a girl? Is it gonna be this year? Next year? We will get married.
And we do want to add on to the family.
Should I just say it?
Mm-hmm.
Brittany found a receipt in my car that I didn't hide very well because she's never in my car. And this one day, she just happened to go in my car and she found a receipt from Mounts Jewelers. There you have it, people. There you have it. It's in the works. Leave me alone.
In my defense, we had to switch vehicles that day. It was very last minute.
It was. And
also,
I
in
forgot
Ben's
that
defense,
was sitting right in my console.
Super last minute. He had to switch vehicles with me so he could pick up the girls from daycare for me so I could take an evening appointment, which I don't do a lot. But I really do want, we're saving up for something pretty big, which I can't say on the podcast. Well, no, I can. My mom found out about it. We're trying to save up for a cruise for my parents' 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I'm taking extra appointments.
And I'm doing videos out
and Ben's doing videos. And now we're also, I guess, saving up for a wedding of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look at the receipt, but...
We might elope. Who knows?
We don't know.
We might elope so fast, we'll antelope. We'll fucking gazelle. We'll gazelle right out of this bitch. Sorry,
right.
I had 2 drinks. I start curse when I start
And apparently I cry.
Yeah. You get emotional and I get like a sailor. Welcome to the Ben and Brittany podcast / Emotional Sailors podcast.
I guess I curse more when I'm drinking too. Or I
say the F word.
Or I flip you off more.
Yeah, that too. Say the F word.
No, I don't.
It's the most adorable thing
I do
ever.
this.
You go fuck. Fuck.
Okay, I can't guess the wine.
Okay.
But
I
can guess. I think it's Gouda cheese.
All right, well, it is Gouda cheese. And how can you not guess the wine?
Hold on, stop. Let me think again.
You got 5 seconds, because we got another question that I want to get to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blueberry Mellow by Springgate. How did you not get that? It's Springgate Blueberry. You love Springgate Blueberry Mellow.
I do.
Oh, you're drunk. Oh, Brittany is drunk.
But it doesn't have... You know what?
What?
The fizz probably died because it's been sitting in this glass so long.
Could have. Also, your palate's probably all confused. You know, you've been eating.
I mean, it definitely tastes good. I couldn't think of
wines.
it though. The cheeses are easy.
Cheeses.
The cheeses we picked are, you know, basic.
Standard.
It's pretty.
It's black and white.
You could pick up pepper jack from Gouda pretty simply.
well, that one has holes in it, so
it's probably
Swiss.
Probably Swiss.
Okay.
Maybe it's holy cheddar.
Stop.
No.
You're cute. All right, this question comes from Nicole Dodson, and this is a good question.
This is a great question. Nicole is one of my bestest friends.
Yeah, and she
asked
it a really good question. It says,
Super
do you
nice.
find social media interferes with the daily grind, such as being on your phones more often than not? If yes, does it bother you?
Okay, so great question, because Ben's career depends more on social media than mine. Now, mine does benefit from social media. Sorry, I have the hiccups already. So it did take me some getting used to. So there definitely was a couple times where like we disagreed on when it was okay to check
it definitely.
the phone.
I wouldn't say interferes, but it has the ability to interfere and cause problems.
It definitely
Brittany and
can.
No total disclosure here. We have argued about one of us looking at our phones. Not gonna say who it was.
Yeah.
It was me.
For me, if I'm looking at my phone, it's because I'm checking texts, emails, real estate related things. Not that makes it any better. We both.
I'm checking video related things. That's what I do.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said what I'm doing.
I'm just saying that was kind of like part of the argument that we had.
Like, you know, it's technology is a blessing and a curse. And we both have agreed that there's a time and a place, and there are just certain times where we need to be more stringent on when we don't look at our phones versus other times. Now, if there's things going on, we both have agreed that we need to communicate that. Like, if I have an offer that's due at 6 p.m. and I need to work out those details, and Ben is like, yeah, by all means, I understand that you're going to be getting it from the dinner table tonight. But it's not every night, but we talk about it.
Mm-hmm. We at least have a heads up that this is going to happen.
Same thing with Ben. If there's a project for the band that he's working on, and he's like, babe, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to work on Saturday for a little bit. We communicate about it, so that way it's not a surprise. I think what happened is prior to that, it was more like a surprise. Like, we weren't necessarily communicating. Well, it was like, why are you on your phone like all day? Like, this is family time. It's because we didn't always communicate.
I think it's because, like, once we had like one or two arguments about it is when we really started to understand, we put the shoe on the other foot. Like, I thought it was no big deal to release a video on a Friday night and then check it 762 times that night, because I was just like, I was so excited because, like, I'm still, like, I haven't even owned a camera for 6 months yet.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm doing really well with video, and I love it. I have a passion for it. So, like, when I create something and I put it out there, I really do care about what people think about it. And I'm constantly checking. Because it's just like, that's, I put my, it's instant gratification. 100%, and it is addicting. I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to it, but it's definitely there. Like, I can't release a video and then not check to see what people think about it. I can't. Just like, selfie girls, that's what I call them. They post a picture of their faces and they go, it's Friday, sun's out, I'm wearing sunglasses. And then, like, they get 175 likes on it. They're checking that shit, just like I would. It's just the world that we live in. And sometimes I was just doing that too much where, Brittany and I decided one night we were going to cook dinner together. And that night turned into Brittany cooking dinner and me checking my phone. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the turning point, I think, when I realized, like, we got to get better at this. And I kind of, like, snapped at Brittany, and I'm like, well, you do it too. And which she does, but not as much as I do. So I think we both kind of just realized that you have to almost manage your phone, your social media time, just like you manage your sleep, your eating, like all the, it's the same. Yeah. Like, you can't, it's not just filler. It's not like anytime you have a dead 3 seconds, you're pulling your phone out. Like, you have to time block that pretty much. Like, I do it when I'm pooping. Because what else are you going to do? That's when you get to pull it out and do whatever you want.
That's when you check it.
That's when you check it.
Yeah. It
just makes sense that way. It doesn't ruin things, but it has the ability to if you let it. You just have to keep a good grasp on
and
when to do it.
If you do need to use social media for your business, Johnny Ross posted that blog 2 days ago, and it was really the main point of it was that you can schedule your posts. With that, if you time block a little bit of time on Mondays to then develop your posts for the whole week, schedule them out. You don't have to be constantly checking it or constantly be on it. Because what happens, you log on your phone to post your business related post for the day, because there are lots of articles out there, knowledge out there that says that it's good for you to post daily, if not more than that, on your business page to keep your page active and to capture attention and so forth. But you go on there to create your post that's business related, and then you post it, and it takes, a couple minutes. And then next thing you know, you're scrolling. Well, I'm just going to...
You're just mindlessly thumbing.
I'm just going to check the news feed quick while I'm in here, and then an hour goes by, and you've just wasted an hour. So that was one thing that I liked about Johnny's blog, was just social media gives you the opportunity to kind of make time blocking easier in that sense. You could time block, schedule your posts, and then just only allow yourself certain times of the day to check your social media. Otherwise, like Ben said, you'll be checking it every time you have 3 seconds down, and then it can become a deep rabbit hole. And
the only double-edged sword coming from somebody that uses social media for their business, the scheduling your posts can hurt your reach, and that's annoying.
Yes.
That, like, the social media platforms, mainly Facebook and Instagram, Instagram's owned by Facebook. If you use a third party like Hootsuite to schedule all your posts across all your platforms, it will show up as you post and say posted from third party Hootsuite, and your reach gets cut. Meaning not everybody that would have normally seen the post sees it now. Facebook penalizes you for that.
Yeah.
Same as they do if you post a link that takes people anywhere but Facebook. If I post a YouTube link, like, a quarter of the amount of people see it. If I post a link to my website, a quarter of the amount of people see it, because Facebook's like, oh, no. Like, Facebook users stay on Facebook. That's the way that this works, motherfucker. Like, I said Facebook cursed, they would have cursed right there. You know, it's just, social media is also a business, and they they corner you. They make you stay there, and that's why people are kind of like mindlessly thumbing through content and checking their stuff. Like, Facebook, man, those guys are geniuses.
They really are.
Oh, every social media platform, like, it's a genius business. It is like anything that somebody creates that can become an addiction that's not biological is genius in the marketing from a marketing sense. So, like,
for sure,
that's crazy.
But great question, Nicole. I think Ben and I have been able to manage it, but it definitely can become an issue. And I think the benefit is Ben and I hold each other accountable.
Yeah, for sure.
We hold each other accountable for don't check your phones during dinner time, or during certain times that really need to be family time, or this is something that you need to be focusing on right now. Can this wait? Like at the end of the day,
I'm on my phone right now checking social media comments for this podcast.
Yeah. So there's a time and a place, and we hold each other accountable. We did have a couple disagreements about it, but it took. Sometimes that's what it takes to be able to talk things out, and that's okay. That's productive.
Yeah.
I don't know what this wine is. I don't like it, but it's white cheddar cheese.
Well, this is Moondog.
No.
Moondog Cellars. This is...
Sorry, guys. They're kind of local.
We thought that was from Moondancer Winery.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to drink it then.
It is... It's not... No, you will probably like it. It's not sweet. That's why...
I know, but I'm drinking... Oh, it smells sweet.
Doesn't taste
It smells like... what do they call that at church? Communion?
It doesn't taste like grape juice to me.
It smells like grape juice to me. I got Seagram 7 and root beer. Let's go. I'll guess that all day.
Good question, Nicole. Next.
Yes. What is the last question here? Okay. What is your dream come true as a couple?
I think that's a lot like the first question.
I guess, yeah. I mean, but like, yeah, I guess, yeah. What do you want? Financial freedom, financial security.
Yeah. So how about you do another one, because they're similar.
Okay. How do you handle life's stresses day to day? From Jennifer McNeely. You don't. Life is stressful, and you just have to. I don't think it's a matter of, for me anyway. I'm just gonna speak for me personally. For me, it's not a matter, for me, of managing stress. It's a matter of identifying that I'm stressed and getting over it. Like, if you're stressed, I don't want to speak for anybody else or put words in anybody else's mouth. When I'm stressed, it's usually because of a couple things. It's because I have a lot on my plate, or it's because I'm running behind, or it's because I can't figure something out. If I can't figure something out, that is stress that I cannot get over until I figure it out. So I just know that I'm stressed until I take the necessary measures to figure out what I'm trying to do. It's usually something on the internet, tech-wise, software, computers. It's usually stuff like that. If I'm running behind or I have a lot on my plate, that kind of stress is just, this is your life, dude. This is the path you chose. This is what it's going to be like. You have to get better at not being stressed or not taking it personally or not seeing it as an end-all, be-all thing. Like, oh my God, this project is, I should have had it done by now and it's not done and I have all this other stuff to do. You just have to go, start, put your pants on one leg at a time. You just start knocking it out, chipping away at it.
Yeah.
I'm not very stressed out person on a regular basis, but when I do get stressed, it's usually for really dumb reasons. And my stress comes out in the form of anger, I think. How many times did I tell you I was ready to throw my computer out the window and break something?
Yeah.
A lot. That's what happens to me when I get stressed.
He definitely gets super angry.
And I don't mean to be mean to Brittany. Sometimes I can speak in a tone that sounds mean, but I'm stressed and I'm trying to communicate. And when I try to communicate when I'm stressed, it comes off like I'm being rude. Mm-hmm. Which I think is just a byproduct of stress.
Right. You're just frustrated. And most of the time now I can figure that out. Yeah. I can tell when it's just okay, his system's not working again. Yeah. He's frustrated.
Systems is a good word. Yeah. That's what helps you avoid stress.
Yeah, we have
having systems set in place.
Ben and I have a lot of systems. Some of it has been trial and error. Delegating things that can be delegated. I spent hours on our taxes and then realized that I still had hours to go. Mm. And realized, although I've already invested this much time in it, we needed an accountant. And then the accountant took over, and I felt so much better having someone else do it.
Yeah, somebody else that you can trust.
Another pair of eyes who knows what he's doing
so
with all this self-employment income. Yeah. We have apps that we have shared logins for, so that way we can both. There's two eyes on the finances. There's two eyes on. We have a lot of Google spreadsheets.
Yeah. We don't have joint bank accounts.
We do not have joint bank accounts.
But we have a joint app that manages both of our bank accounts.
And our budget. Because technically we have a joint budget in the sense that we live in the same house. Therefore, there's certain things that belong to the household that are, the bills are split, if you will. So it's separate bank accounts, but full transparency with the budget.
We have, and there's a ton of apps that we use that are like that are linked together, that we use on a regular basis to just keep our family together. Right. Otherwise it's like an explosion in space. Yeah. Everything just goes never and it never comes back.
So we use
these apps keep us together.
How much time do we have? Do we have time to talk about that, or should that be another podcast?
Oh, we'll do a whole other podcast on our apps for life, babe.
We should do that next. Let's do that one next.
All right. If you want to hear us do a podcast about all the applications that we use to keep our family together and keep our businesses running and just essentially keep our shit together.
Not even just being self-employed, you could definitely use the same applications we have as a family to just keep everyone on the same page, because it's all about communication. I think stress can be avoided. Arguments can be avoided. Repeat work can be avoided with apps. Yep. There's a lot in Google spreadsheets, for sure.
And I think it takes a weight off of your brain. Having these apps is almost being like a cyborg. Mm-hmm. Because you have all these apps that you can put your information into and do all this stuff, and then the apps think for you. And then you can take your brain, your biological brain, and focus on what you need to do to make money. like the tasks that you as a human being need to take care of. Meanwhile, you have to set up all these other apps to work together to keep the rest of your shit together. Because, like, your brain can only handle and process so many things, right? So whatever you don't need to do inside your brain, outsource it to these apps. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But we probably should wrap this podcast up.
Yeah, I'm on my last glass of wine.
As soon as you're done that last sip, baby, we're wrapping her up.
Were there any short answer questions that we could just quickly do?
A lot of our supporters ask us paragraph questions. It's really hard to get a quick.
I love that, though.
Yeah. Okay. What song makes you look at each other and say, "Oh yeah, it's on"?
There's okay. So
let's talk about sex, baby.
So "Strokin'" by Clarence Carter.
Yeah.
Is our song.
We're gonna play that song at our wedding if we have one.
Yeah.
Not if we get married. If we decide we want to have a wedding when
right.
we get married, yeah.
And then also the song that like makes us want to drink.
Oh,
is
George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers.
Yeah, one bourbon,
one
scotch, and one beer. That song comes on and we're like 6-pack. Now,
yeah, as soon as I hear
whiskey, get it.
You're just like, oh, pour it up.
Yep, party is on.
All right, let's look. I don't know if there's any. Like, everybody asks long questions. Oh, when you were 13, who did you listen to the most? Music, that is. For me, Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory. I listened to that entire record for probably the entire year I was 13. I knew every song, every lyric, every note. I knew everything about that record. I don't know it now, but like, man, back in the day, I could have been any band member in Linkin Park, except for the DJ. I don't know how shit works.
All right, so 13, I would have been in 8th grade. I listened to a weird, wide variety of music my whole life. Like, people would not look at me and be like, she listened to Slipknot at one point. I did.
That's crazy. You have a love for Godsmack, which still blows my mind, and I know you.
Second favorite rock band is Godsmack,
Who's
for
your
sure.
first?
Small Town Titan.
Oh.
Duh.
Okay.
But
okay.
Sully's voice. Anyway, it's really good. But I
spent the last year Rocky Mountain Way.
It's a good cover.
You want to go bang? I sounded just like him.
I like your voice better.
No, stop it.
I do.
I love you.
But I listened from like anything in the 50s to the 80s was mainly. My mom always had me listening to older stuff.
Yeah. So did I. I grew up listening to 60s, 70s, and 80s rock and roll, blues. I love the blues.
I also, you know me, I loved the old country music.
Yep.
I grew up
blues.
On Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr., Sr., you know, Willie Whalen and the boys.
Not a fan of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's growing on me a little bit. Brittany plays it in the car all the time, and it grows on me.
Merle Haggard is my number one.
They're like the bare bones, stripped down, like acoustic guitar songs. You know, and they're good.
I like it.
They're good.
Yeah.
What was your college major?
Business administration, Bachelor of Science, and a specialization in accounting.
Wow. I'm a college dropout. But it was business administration. And I never got lower than a B on a paper or a presentation. Actually, I don't think I've gotten anything other than an A on a presentation. I was good at it, but I did not like it.
I think this is a separate podcast topic.
College? Well, I could do a whole podcast on college.
And the importance of vocational schools versus college.
Okay, yeah. We'll put that in the podcast.
I'm going to put it on the list.
We'll talk about college, people. If you have kids thinking about going to college, think again.
Yeah.
It might not be the best choice for you.
It may not. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you could sit with one person who is with us or has passed on, who would it be and why?
So non-famous, my grandma. Famous, Merle Haggard.
Non-famous, my father. Famous, I don't know. I don't know. I would have to think about that one for a little while. There's so many people. But, like, I would have to think of... It would change depending on what part of my life I'm at.
Or Oswald.
Who's Oswald?
The guy that supposedly shot Kennedy. Like, did he really do it?
Oh, I don't
Do you
know.
think he'd tell me now? Like, now that he's dead?
Oh, wait, what if I sat with a serial killer?
Right?
Remember, we've been watching them. Oh, man. Brittany and I like serial killer shows. Or
Yeah.
at least I do, and I think I kind of got you
You got
into
me
it.
hooked.
There's a show called Mindhunter that's really good.
And the one about the Unabomber on
that's good,
Netflix,
too.
super good. The Ted Bundy one
I
on
love that
Netflix,
stuff.
so good.
That's crazy, man.
So good.
It's so interesting to learn about something that you can't, or like to watch a TV show about something that like like you can't fathom doing the things that they've done. And it's like that's the interesting part. Like what Ed
You're
Kemper
like,
in the
how?
one movie, in the Mindhunter TV show.
Which
Like
one?
Ed Kemper was the one serial killer.
I don't remember names.
I feel like it's too gruesome to talk about.
You got to just watch the show, people.
It's
good.
really good.
It's good. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. All the other questions are really, really long questions. Or, when are you getting married? When are you going to propose? Do you want kids? Do you want more kids?
Yes.
What kind of kids? Like,
Ben needs more testosterone, so hopefully a boy, but we'll love it just as much if it's a girl.
If
it's a girl,
the way that you said that made me want to just clear something up. I have plenty of testosterone in my body, but not enough testosterone in the house.
yeah. If it's a girl, we're gonna name it Lorelai because my favorite '80s rock band is Styx, and one of my favorite songs by Styx is Lorelai. So if we have a girl,
but I'm gonna call
Ben's
her...
agreed that we can name her Lorelai and call her Rory.
Yes, Rory. And if we have a boy, it's going to be Ollie.
Short for Oliver.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna call him Oliver.
I told my mom about Ollie, and she was like, Ollie? No, are you serious? Get real. I'm like, yup.
Yeah, my mom's not gonna like it either, but
That's
that's
all
okay.
right. They can shut up. All right, guys. Thank you for all your questions, and thank you for listening and watching us enjoy alcohol and talking about questions that you have. Like, this was awesome. So
Yeah.
we'll probably do another one of these, but we got some other podcast topics we want to get to. We like to switch it up and do like the real ones, where it's like self-confidence struggles, which we talked about.
We had to do a
our
lighthearted one
story.
this time because
Yeah.
I didn't feel like crying tonight.
Yeah,
Although I did.
I felt like the past couple podcasts that we did, they were heavy. They were real, but they were heavy, and I don't know. Us being brand new to podcasting and stuff, we don't really know what you guys are really turned on to. We're just being ourselves and being honest, and some of that real stuff is just real stuff that happens in our lives. So we talk about it. We got nothing to hide. We will keep hitting record as long as you guys keep listening, keep watching, and like, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe to our podcast, that's like the biggest thing you guys can do for us. That helps us a lot. It actually it boosts us in everything. So like, subscribe and like our podcast. It does wonders for us. We will see you next week on Thursday.
I never guessed this wine.
And the next, let's guess it.
It's either a blush or a rosé. I can't tell.
It's a blush. You're right. What was the cheese?
It's cheddar. It's yellow cheddar. We had a white cheddar and a yellow cheddar.
It's Vermont sharp cheddar.
The cheeses I kind of cheated. I knew exactly what cheese is.
You could tell by looking at
And
them.
you could tell by looking at them, except for Gouda, which you can definitely tell the difference between Gouda and cheddar. The cheeses were...
Was this podcast Gouda cheese?
It was Gouda cheese.
Ooh. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Ben and Brittany. Like, comment, and subscribe. BGCinematics.com. Oh yeah, this podcast is officially brought to you by BGCinematics.com. Did I just sponsor my own podcast? You're goddamn right I did. Taxes! We'll talk about that on the next podcast. That's another thing you can do. Taxes. There's a lot of tax things you can do. Tax write-off, if I say that, which is pretty crazy. Come get me, IRS. I dare you.
No, don't say that.
Why?
Don't say that. I don't want to get audited. Don't dare them to audit us. We have an accountant, but I don't want to get audited. I don't need that stress in my life.
Ain't nobody gonna audit us. They'll get nothing. We're airtight.
I mean, everything we do is legitimate.
It's legitimate. We are airtight.
And it is reviewed.
This has been Ben and.
What?
This has been Ben and
Brittany.
We'll see you guys on the next podcast.